all that sand and water, we finally made it! Oh, this must be Fontaine's port. Wow, everything looks so advanced in Fontaine. Paimon's heard that the industry here is extremely developed. Just seeing the sights as a tourist is nice, but maybe it would be better if we found something to do. What do you think? Good idea! Nahida gave us loads of useful information. Seeking out the Seven is probably still our best source for information at this point. Yeah, the more we can learn, the better. So, what do you think the Hydro Archon's like? Will we get along? Nahida... To learn about a nation's god, start with the nation's people. There seems to be some locals talking over there. Let's go see if we can join the party.
If you ask me, it's a tragedy how things ended for him.
Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of ending for him. I thought he would at least fight on a little longer for his family. I was expecting a sudden plot twist, but it's a pity that it never happened. Still, his story is quite the tearjerker.
Excuse me. Can I help you too? I couldn't help but notice you standing here listening.
Hi. We're travelers new to Fontaine, and we had something we wanted to ask, but you seem to be really busy talking about some kind of play?
Play? Oh, no. We're talking about something that really happened. In fact...
Really? Like, a real trial? But there was...
Well, good tales are often based on true stories, aren't they? And what you see in reality may also be someone deliberately putting on an act while whether something is true or not simply isn't that important. The main thing is whether the story being acted out on the stage is Oh, but it looks like you're not from around here. You probably don't know that the Fontaine Court of Justice is called the Opera Epiclese, or more commonly known as just the Opera House.
But, shouldn't court cases be treated a little more seriously than that? Not to question Fontaine.
No worries. Other visitors to Fontaine have wondered the same thing. You could say that we just don't want to waste the moving stories behind those cases. And as for your worries about whether the cases are treated with due reverence, as well as the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, a machine created by the Archon. Between the machine and the Chief Justice, false charges and injustice are a thing of the past now.
Oratrice? Is it some kind of machine, too? Oh, but wait. Paimon almost forgot to ask you our question. Do you know what we should do if we want to meet the Hydro Archon?
Oh, that's easy. Just go to the Opera House. Lady Farina practically lives there. You could definitely say it's her biggest passion.
Huh. I think what they mean is that they wish to speak with the Archon personally. In that case, I'm afraid it's going to be a tad more difficult. You'll have to make an appointment well in advance, and it'll depend on whether...
Huh. Is the Hydro Archon super busy taking care of official stuff? Wait.
No. Lady Farina seldom takes an interest with the nation's affairs. The reason it's difficult to make an appointment is simply because she's incredibly popular.
That's right. After all, she is the Archon. Though she may tend to get a little dramatic from...
Huh. First time Paimon's ever heard of an Archon being described that way before. Wait! Paimon gets now! The Hydro Archon!
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Perhaps you could even say our map.
Hang on. This is still Fontaine's Archon you're talking about. You should...
Yes, you're right. I guess I should at least try to be a little more respectful in front of visitors. Otherwise, I might get arrested and
Come on. Sure, there's a lot of laws here, but nobody's going to be arrested for saying something disrespectful about the Hydro Archon.
Alright, I think we get it. Thank you! At least we now know that we can find the Hydro Archon, but who knows how long making an appointment will take? Hey! What are you looking over there for? Huh. Maybe something's the matter. She isn't going to jump into the water, is she? Maybe we better go check on her. Hello there. Excuse me. Are you all right?
Huh? I'm fine. Thanks.
Oh, okay then. We just noticed that you seem to be worried about something.
About many things, actually. But there's nothing I can do but just keep my troubles to myself. I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids. It was just atop that hill over there.
You're pointing at the sea. Wait, are you saying that you and your brother lived in the water?
No people call the waters around Fontaine a sea. It's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water. And though I can still see that hill clearly in my memories, now it's been completely submerged. He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. The sun shone brightly, and the air was filled with this. But now, the water is gradually swallowing our memories. It won't be long before it swallows us.
Sorry.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Are you Lynette's new friends?
Oh, and you are?
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood, that's all. There's no need for any... allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lyney, and this is my sister Lynette. If I had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We were just talking with your sister. Even though we didn't really get what she was saying.
I see. It's unusual for Lynette to be so willing to talk with anyone. In fact, she seldom speaks at all.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us. Paimon's always the one talking for some reason. that's how you think it is?
I also think my brother can be too talkative at times.
Seems you were right, Paimon. We are quite similar.
So, what did Lynette mean just now when she said that the water is engulfing your memories? And that
Oh, that. It's from a prophecy that's been circulating in Fontaine for... Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of... Where to begin? Let's put that question on hold for a moment. We still haven't formally greeted each other yet.
did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, traveler. And hello, Paimon.
Hey! Why didn't Paimon get a handshake? You're not poking fun at Paimon, are you?
Please, don't take offense. Just consider it a sort of etiquette we have here in Fontaine when making new...
Oh, all right then. Well, Paimon's just happy to have a local friend now. By the way, we were just getting ready to go to the Opera House.
So you're going to see Lady Farina? No problem at all. In fact, I was planning to go to the Opera House later myself. Please, follow me. You said you were going to see Lady Farina? Well, it seems Lady Farina has come to see you.
So, she's the Hydro Archon? But how did she know we were looking for her?
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration. If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu. As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and his companion, who have journeyed here from distant lands.
Is she talking about us?
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you've left in your wake as you visited other nations. But I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you personally. Fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaningless wariness. You can be rest assured. I see clearly your sincerity. Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing to do. It will allow you to truly behold my power and witness my authority. Intelligent people always gather under the correct banner. I, Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and significance.
Yeah, Paimon still can't believe it. Feels like we've only been here for a few minutes. But the Hydro Archon's entrance was, how should Paimon describe it? A little over the... how did you know we were coming?
I see. As Outlanders, you inevitably lack even some of the most basic understanding. Don't forget that even the gods can be You had best stop and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god? All it takes is a flick of my...
Whoa. Talk about sounding high and mighty.
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming ceremony still isn't enough?
Is she waiting for us to start talking?
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Furina here. What a surprise! Wait, does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler? How did I not notice before?
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady Furina? Is there some kind of drama going on?
Of course. That's the blonde traveler. The one all those stories are about. Lady Furina came here to personally see him. Oh, I bet this is gonna be the duel of the century.
Ooh, I've got to see this. I knew Lady Furina would never disappoint.
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators, you may consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you...
What are you trying to do, traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Stand down, Clorinde. I admire his bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword against a god. He is obviously a true warrior. Unfortunately, people nowadays only crave to be thrilled, and a mere duel will not slake their thirst for excitement.
Oh, yeah, she's right. Just a duel wouldn't be all that interesting.
On Araneus, criminals are always requesting duels to defend their honor. You're getting it.
You see. Then, as the god of justice, I shall face this...
All right! Now that'll be worth seeing!
Right. This is Fontaine, after all. Such a grand opera house, it would be a pity not to use it.
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reactions? Seems you've spent a little too much time in the opera house. Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court? You mean you're going to put us on trial?
Oh, we have... According to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong. That's our Lady Furina. No one knows the laws of Fontaine like she does.
You call that obvious? What kind of law is that? Wait, flying object? You mean Paimon?
Precisely! Now, if you two have no objections, then in the name of the Hydro Archon, I order your arrest.
My apologies, Lady Furina. I don't mean to spoil the fun, but if you would allow me to interject... I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
You tell her, Linny! Finally someone who's not crazy. How could anyone call Paimon a flying object?
Ah, great magician Linny, my beloved citizen. I'll permit you to object.
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving the show. So, with such an audience gathered here, allow me to perform a trick for everyone.
Ta-da!
What's that on Paimon's back? Hey, when did Lenny do that?
There. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the Traveler's hand all along.
Huh? You call that magic? You've got to be joking.
I thought it was pretty good. Nice one.
Huh. I'm not sure what to think. It seems Lady Furina's charge is no longer...
Amusing. Very amusing, Linny. Just the sort of unexpected twist that I enjoy. With
Performance? You see all this as a performance?
In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. The god of justice will not bring charges against... But when there are valid grounds, I will not only judge travelers from abroad, but even the gods of other lands. I look forward to seeing your upcoming performance at the Opera House, Mr. Linny and Miss Lynette.
And just like that, she's gone. Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. We never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon. That whole scene just now was really...
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation. So, now do you see what kind of god...
She can be a bit confusing at times, but she is still amenable to reason.
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Linny. It sounded like you'll be performing at the Opera House, right?
I just know a few simple tricks I use to make a living. Lynette is my assistant. Actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in Fontaine.
But isn't the Opera House where criminal trials are held in Fontaine?
When there are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. Between a trial and a performance can be a little blurred. And speaking of performances, I would be remiss to forego this opportunity gifted by...
My brother's always excited to make new friends.
Oh, sure. We don't really have anything to do now, and we want to...
Splendid. In that case, why don't we... Oh, you really mean it? Then I'll take you up on your offer. This is a magical item known as a magic pocket. Perhaps you can help me distribute them to the people here.
Huh? What are they going to use it for?
About that... You asked me before about... I'm not sure exactly when it began, but a prophecy has been circulating around Fontaine. It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the nation of justice holds... Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned. In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed.
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people in Fontaine born with sin?
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the seas, and others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for any...
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, Wouldn't it be better?
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started rising.
Many places have already been completely submerged, and now lie beneath the sea.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that the people of Fontaine shouldn't ignore the possibility, which would end up sentencing them to death. We hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So, we've started distributing magic pockets to them. As a magical item, these magic pockets have astonishing capacity. I'm sure they will come in handy when people are moving their belongings.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's like preparing for a rainy day! But this is more than a bit of rain.
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a catastrophe. But who knows? Now, if you'd like to help, then please give these magic pockets to anyone nearby. Be sure to convince them to take it, regardless of what they say.
So you're the blonde traveler that Oh, a magic pocket? Seems you really thought of everything. Thanks. Please, also thank the magician on my behalf when...
What's this? So you also believe in the prophecy?
What? You mean you don't believe in the prophecy?
No, I believe in the prophecy. But I also believe in another story. The story says that people once lived in the ocean. But as time wore on, people desired to live on land and developed blood vessels, encapsulating the sea within their bodies. Thus, if you ask me, when the water rises and takes us all, it'll be like we're going home.
Oh, we hadn't heard that one before. But people can't live underwater. They'll die.
All right, I'll take it. I guess I just feel that being dissolved into the water...
Huh? I don't want that thing. Way I see it, if the prophecy's true, it's still gonna... Life is all about living in the moment. What use is there in worrying about the future all the time? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
You should still take it. You never know when it'll come in handy.
Oh, all right, fine. Thanks. If I start moving, that means I've already given up on the life I have now. I'd really rather not.
Oh? You already handed out all of the magic pockets? That was fast. So, what did people have to say? I bet you heard some, interesting opinions. Yes, but that will change once disaster strikes. I know they'll change their minds, so it's only right to help them prepare.
Is there anything else you need to do before we leave?
Yes, one last thing. I have the magic pockets made by a workshop in the court of Fontaine. Since we're out and about, I was thinking about bringing him some more materials.
So, you want to collect materials? Just tell us what the materials look like and we'll help. Many hands make light work.
Oh, that would be much appreciated. We'll need some Romaritime flowers. I remember seeing them near the waterfront on the east side of the harbor.
It seems we have to use Hydro to collect Romaritime flowers. Here goes!
I'll lead the way.
Leave it to me.
We may leave at any time.
Who ate a poison?
Press a leaf between dry sheet. Paper. You can make it attractive and handy bookmark. Ch